A Song to the Tune of Love by It's_Kingston on AO3. Episode 3, Chapter 2, Pre-Chorus. What's with you going out on Friday nights, Ochako? Ashido asked, her tone just a bit too suggestive for Uraraka's taste. You're missing all my movie nights. Calm down, Mina. It's not like that. Uraraka sighed. Just a friendly thing. Friendly things don't happen late on Friday nights. She winked. Uraraka was concerned with how quickly she compared it to Toga's small gesture. 1. It's 7 p.m., not late. 2. Uraraka turned to Ashido with a smirk. Last Friday night when I came back, I saw you and Jiro watching movies on the couch, sitting pretty close. Okay, we're just friends though. Friendly Friday movies. Same as normal. Ashido replied. And Uraraka swears her blush would be obvious, if not for her pink skin. Friendly things don't happen late on Friday nights. Uraraka called as she hurried out the door, not wanting to be late. At least we haven't been doing it for 6 weeks straight, Ashido shouted, jabbing an accusatory finger at the glass door Uraraka disappeared through. Leaving through UA security gates wasn't as daunting anymore, not as stressful. Though thoughts of being caught unprepared by villains were fewer now, less in the spotlight of her mind. Now at this moment, Uraraka felt okay. Not great. She still had trouble sleeping at night, relying on naps to get her by, but she was better than she was last month. Ever since they established the Friday night schedule, Uraraka hadn't had to wait for Toga as long. She wondered if Toga came by the other days, or if she was only there for Uraraka. Perhaps she'll ask. The girl in question was already sitting on the same bench as usual, swinging her legs over the edge. Hey, Uraraka said as she approached, pausing her music, and took out her earbuds. Toga smiled, replied in you're earlier than normal. She noted. Mina was going to interrogate me or something, so I left early. Uraraka said, What time do you normally get here? Toga shrugged. Whenever I start getting bored. I've only been here a few minutes though. Interesting day then, Uraraka asked, leaning back on the bench. She never really initiated the contact, but the unspoken signal to Toga that she could get closer with Uraraka, sitting back, comfortable. So she did. No way. Toga laughed, linking her arms with Uraraka's. Meetings, and more meetings. Wouldn't even let me bring in anything fun to play with during them. I got away as soon as I could. Toga huffed. Uraraka traced her thumb across a light scar on the back of Toga's hand, wondering how she got it. What kind of meetings? She asked instead. And your idea of something fun probably doesn't match everyone else's. Just about the Quirk Equality Act. All the higher-ups agree with the promise, but not the pardon. They say we all need to be tried in court. It's all boring. I haven't done anything since the war ended. Toga tipped her head back, looking up at the moon. I'm not sure what I think about that. Uraraka sighed. I get both sides. Toga made a humming noise. Doesn't matter. All that stuff is too important. I like having silly little conversations with you. Uraraka chuckled. Yeah, I guess so. Her expression grew more tired after a pause. The world really sucks sometimes. Tell me about it. Toga sighed. Sorry, that wasn't the change of topic I was going for. It's all right. Toga smiled over at her. What'd you do today? Class, homework, talking to friends. Same old, same old. Anything other than the meeting for you? Oh, one thing. Toga sat forward, absolutely beaming. I saw Jin today. He's being let out of the hospital next week. They stitched him up and he's doing good. Really? That's great. Jin, that's twice, right? Uraraka asked. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to show him all around the new apartment. The heroes gave us all this really big place to share. They didn't tell us it had cameras to see who comes and goes, but they're super obvious. I like waving at them and pretending the watcher person waves back. I didn't know you were given a place. Where is it at? Like a 30-minute walk that way. Toga pointed back behind them. I don't think they'll let you visit, though. She crossed her arms and plopped back onto the bench. Well, we could just hang out here then. Maybe some other places too, if you want to go. I know the area pretty well. Uraraka offered, small smile on her face. I like this little bench, Toga replied. She leaned back into Uraraka's shoulder, linked her arms again. It's like a little hideaway. My family doesn't know I head over here, and yours doesn't either. Well, unless you told them. Her smile faltered a smidge. Uraraka shook her head. Nope, I don't want Mina getting some bright idea to come out here. She convinced herself that I'm going on dates or something. She asked me last week if I'd found my Prince Charming. Toga laughed, her smile creeping higher. Well, not Prince, but I could be your Princess Charming. Uraraka playfully swatted at her shoulder. Mina will just be ecstatic to hear that. She just wants me to be with someone. Yeah? Toga hummed. I definitely am someone. Uraraka chuckled and heard her phone buzz. It hasn't been 2 hours already, Uraraka said, brows furrowed. She checked her phone, felt Toga resting her chin on Uraraka's shoulder. Oh, it's just the dorm chat. They're ordering pizza and asked me to pick it up from the place just down the road, since I'm already out. She told Toga. Angry cap lock spamming came through the screen. More like demanding you to pick it up. Toga laughed. That's just Katsuki. He doesn't count. Uraraka replied. I'll tell them to order later and pick it up on my way. You can come too, if you want. To pick it up or to eat? Both are fine with me. Uraraka paused. I can't say they'll be nice, especially Katsuki, but feel free to. You aren't banned from UA, right? Not sure. Toga giggled. I probably am, but I don't want to come anyways. Thanks though, Chaco. Alright, Uraraka replied. Okay, I think that's a good cutoff. All things considered, obviously. So hopefully you guys think that's a good cutoff as well. I think it's a good cutoff. Interesting. So we did a little bit of a skip. So it's gonna be the fast burn, slow burn. I think it's what it's gonna be. Because there's different types of fast burns. As I said, there's different types of slow burns, right? And this, I guess it would be considered a slow burn, time-wise, in the timeline, but not in the pacing-wise, right? So while they have been talking for a month and a half now, a month and a half now, right? For us, it's only been 2 chapters, right? Like for us, it's only been 2 chapters. Therefore, it has not been a month, right? It has not been multiple chapters. For us, it's been 2 chapters and they're already like semi-flirting, semi-whatever. The pacing of it is pretty quick. But the reason why it works in these fast burns kind of thing is because they're actually a slow burn. This is a slow burn. I would consider this a mixed burn. Again, most of my terminology when it comes to fan fictions and labeling everything is very, mixed and stuff like that. I would not tag it as a slow burn, because if I tag it as a slow burn, people are going to be confused. But I would tag it as a fast pace romance, because I wouldn't necessarily call this a fast pace, a fast burn, right? Just a fast paced romance, and then clarify the fact that, hey, it's technically a slow burn, right? Time-wise line, things like that. So it's Kingston. You have different types of slow burns in your stories. Interesting. I'm already looking at some of your other stories and I am trying so hard not to read them. I'm trying so hard not to read ahead on this one. So far, I am really loving it. All right. I like the premise of it. The premise is really interesting and it comes with really interesting dynamics. I mean, both of them are trying to heal from something. Uraraka, obviously from her PTSD from post-war. Toga clearly has some insecurities about hey, you probably hate me. A bunch of people probably hate me. We have the whole dilemma with what's happening with the quirk, equal quirk, whatever. The thing that's letting Toga and all the other villains not go caught scot-free, but like kind of free, you know? Would stop the war, basically. It's a really interesting cycle. It's a really interesting way, dynamic, right? Story dynamic, plot dynamic, right? We have the back plots, right? Clearly, we're probably gonna have a little bit of like, okay, how is UA gonna react to this? And then obviously we have the back burner of, will Toga have to face jail time? What's gonna happen that way? The League of Villains and all that stuff. And then we have their actual romance, which have sub little things. Like, for example, can they be romantically involved without having the barrier of, hey, we went to war, I almost died, things happened, right? Having that, you know, weird dynamic while also being like, hey, can we trust each other? Can we heal together? Right? Stuff like that, where it's like, it's really interesting. There's all these little tidbits and little things and little dynamics that are all, you know, there, that is really having me excited and really making it really hard for me not to read ahead. I'm not reading ahead, but I understand if you, my raindrops, read ahead. Do not worry. I understand. But yeah. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.